For as long as life has existed on Earth, the oceans have been our planet's greatest treasure. They cover more than 70% of the surface, hold 97% of all water, and are home to millions of species. But imagine waking up tomorrow morning and discovering that every single drop of ocean water, every wave, every tide, every drop from the deepest trench to the shallowest bay, was gone. Not a gradual drying up, not a slow climate disaster. Just gone. Overnight. What would happen to our planet? The first thing you'd see is the coastline transformed beyond recognition. Beaches wouldn't just stretch a few meters further, they would extend for kilometers. The entire continental shelf, normally hidden beneath waves, would be exposed. Cities that once thrived by the water would find themselves overlooking vast plains of mud, rock, and coral. Ships would be stranded like forgotten toys in a giant sandbox. But while the sight might be astonishing, the smell would be unbearable. Millions of fish, marine mammals, and other sea creatures would be left to suffocate on the newly exposed seafloor. The stench of decay would blanket the planet within hours. Then there's the weather. The oceans aren't just beautiful. They're our planet's massive climate engine. They store heat, move it around the globe, and generate the water vapor that falls as rain. Without oceans, the global water cycle would collapse instantly. Rainfall would drop to nearly zero, rivers would dry up, and the world would turn into a desert in months. Crops would fail, forests would wither, and billions of people would face starvation. And what about temperature? With no oceans to absorb sunlight and release heat slowly, the difference between day and night temperatures would become extreme. Coastal cities that once enjoyed mild climates would bake in the day and freeze at night. The equator could become unbearably hot, while the poles would plunge into deep cold. Marine ecosystems would collapse completely. Coral reefs would crumble without the water's buoyancy. Plankton would vanish, and the entire ocean food chain would be erased. That's bad news, not just for sea life, but for humans too. More than 3 billion people rely on seafood as their primary source of protein, and overnight, that food source would vanish. Economically, the shock would be catastrophic. Entire industries, fishing, shipping, tourism, even global trade routes, would disappear instantly. The oceans are the highways of the world, carrying 90% of international goods. Without them, the global economy would grind to a halt. And then there's a deeper problem, quite literally. Without the immense weight of water pressing down, the Earth's crust at the bottom of the oceans would begin to shift. Tectonic plates would react violently, triggering massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Places that have been geologically quiet for centuries could suddenly explode with activity. But perhaps the most terrifying change would come from space. The oceans play a vital role in stabilizing Earth's climate and even its rotation. Their mass helps balance the planet as it spins. Without them, Earth's rotation could subtly wobble over time, throwing seasons into chaos and making weather even more unpredictable. In just a few days, Earth would be almost unrecognizable. A dry, cracked world with vast scars where the oceans once were. Humanity would retreat to the last remaining lakes and rivers, fighting for survival in a planet-sized wasteland. So, as wild as the idea might sound, the oceans are far more than just pretty blue spaces on a globe. They are the beating heart of our planet's climate, the foundation of countless ecosystems, and a source of life for billions of people. The next time you stand on a shore and look out at the endless horizon, imagine it gone, and remember just how fragile our blue planet really is.